We were doing pre-pod talk about a frog, so I just hit record and was like, I guess we could just talk about that first.
I'm always down to talk about frog fishing. That's a great.
Do you trim the legs or do you not trim the legs?
It depends. Though there's frog, like if you buy like a general Spro frog, then yeah, you just because they're like
12-inch legs.
Yeah, they're like double the size of the frog itself.
I mean, I think like real like bass fishing frogs, like not like Walmart brand frogs. Like I think real bass fishing frogs, they usually come super long because they assume that you're gonna cut them at least a little bit. So like they give you the option to have them like as long as possible, and like assuming you're gonna trim them. I mean, I don't know. I don't trim them because it's going to make it walk better. I mean, I guess it could, but like if you can't walk it, like you can walk it no matter what. Like I don't know what you're getting at. I'll trim them if they're really long, just because like I don't want the fish just biting the legs.
Trimming the legs because it doesn't walk is literally a skill issue. Like you just can't. It's because you don't know how to walk a frog, so you need to make it easier.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like the thing where guys do one a little shorter than the other is like. I mean, like, I guess it works. Like, it makes it easier. But also,
I do it all the time, but does it actually help?
Well, that's what I was going to say. I don't really understand why that would do anything.
Yeah, does it really pull the other way? I do it because it's just like, that's what
you just do it. You just do it because everyone said to do it.
Yeah. Like the keel of the frog is what's guiding it. Like those little silicone pieces that are just like barely hitting the water. Like there's no way it really does much.
Like think about like a spook. Like that doesn't have legs and that walks no problem. Yeah. It's just how you twitch it with a little bit of the slack in the line to pull it back and forth. I mean, it's really not.
My favorite frog's a gavacho and it's got fucking 3 legs. It's got one down the middle and it's 2 on the side, so it's like
and it walks.
What are we doing here? Goated frog, by the way. It's just the best.
I mean, I don't know. You got a guy like Jordan Lee who's like known to be like pretty good with a frog, and he a lot of the times pulls the legs completely out. Well, he sticks rattles in them.
He does like those big Gunnersville mats frog fishing. Like
he has like
such a different thing.
You know, like the jig rattles where it's like a rattle and then a little like band that you can put around the hook and then a rattle on the other side.
Yeah.
He takes those and he'll pop one of the rattles in the hole and then the other rattle's dangling out the back of it. And he'll pull the silicone legs all the way out and pop them into both of the holes like that.
Yeah, and he probably puts like a ounce of weight inside of the frog.
Yeah.
I know a ton of guys. I stuff like old BBs in there. Little copper BBs.
Where like
that's like John Cox says that he likes his frogs to have holes in them, like to be beat up and messed up, because he says the opposite of like what everybody says. He says he wants it to fill up with water on purpose.
Well, when you think about it, when you look at a frog, dude, they swim and they swim underwater a lot of the times.
I've definitely had a frog that was on the way out, and I'm watching it do that like little bob underwater that you'll get when they start getting too much water, and you're like, that kind of looks good.
But like, you know how you always pull, like everybody, you pull the frog out and then you squeeze it and like squirt the water out. And you cast it again. John Cox was like, never ever do that.
He just said
like, leave it in there.
I can't stand it though. It just makes
it bothers me so much. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'm John Cox, but I'm pretty good with a frog, and I always squeeze the water out.
It's one of the few techniques that I can say I actually like. Feel like I'm pretty good at it.
I think that though has a lot to do with like specifically when you're fishing like super thick mats.
Oh,
it cuts it into the water a little bit more instead of just like sitting on the top and not really doing anything. Like you want a little weight to like make movement.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because when you're around like lily pads and stuff, there's not as much to sink down into. It's more open, and so
Think how much we're like frog fishing around docks and stuff, and then you're really like walking it and being methodical about it. Like you want it to be like a little light dancing frog rather than like this heavy thing that's just
sinking straight to the bottom of the pile and flipping a frog.
Yeah, well, that's also I was gonna say like us typically not wanting it weighed down or water in it is also like kind of a product of like where we fish a lot. Like we're not fishing like cheese like and like thick mats really all the time. Like I don't know, like most of the time I'm fishing a frog, at least here, like hyper locally, it's like kind of more in like brush and laydowns and like bushes or like under docks or something. Like it's not really as much like cheese mats because everywhere around here they kill the grass. So
dead grass mats. Fun though sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
But that's like the thickest stuff we got to ever try.
Exactly.
And like when I go on that, when I throw into that, I'll usually just throw like a popping frogs that it like digs its head down a little bit and just like So that kind of equivalates to, that's not a word.
Equivalent.
It's a shame we're missing Zub. Zub would be talking about a pop and perch.
Oh.
Zub would be talking about a pop and perch, and he'd be talking about Japanese frogs and
some sort of pop and shrimp, maybe. Who knows?
He'd be talking about that jackal frog.
Well, it's good. The gavacho's really good.
Oh, that's the jackal one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he had that on the bay last year.
Dude, it's so good. That and the Kyara, or however you say it, the little one.
I watched
really
Zoom on the bay last year. Somehow managed to break off on a pop and perch.
Well,
one thing with frogs, though, I don't know what you guys think.
Which is probably because
they're all the freaking same. Unless you go a big profile.
There's some really bad ones. So the good ones are all good.
Yeah.
There's some really shitty ones.
There's
some really bad, really good ones.
Yeah.
No, shut up. No, I know exactly what Alex is thinking. We're not talking.
Are you thinking up north?
No, he's talking about his secret juice. I don't even know if he'll talk about it on here.
I won't.
Yeah, exactly. I knew it.
It's the biggest piece of shit frog ever. But
you can buy it at Walmart. Just put it that way.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad.
And they eat the shit out of it.
They just don't. I watched him throw it once, and I was like, dude, what are we doing?
I've seen it work. Brennan might not remember.
Oh my god, we were on Champlain and it worked. No shit.
That's the spot for it.
It's the best frog
in the water and do that.
But tell me that frog doesn't outfish other frogs on Champlain. It absolutely does.
Dude, it's such a niche situation that you're saying it's outfishing something. So like, yeah,
sure. But I throw it in a niche situation.
I get that, but like,
it makes no sense.
I'm gonna sit here and phrase it like it's gospel that it's great.
But that's like every bait though. Like not
you have versatile baits. This is not a versatile bait.
No,
it's a one trick pony.
But not every bait is magical, but you can find magic in almost any bait if you know the exact right situation to throw it.
I can get behind that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's so many baits where it's like that I have in my box that's like I have 10 bags of these in my boat and I'm probably only going to bust them out 1 or 2 times a year, but those 1 or 2 times a year I bust them out, it's going to be the right day to do it and you're going to catch 30, 40 on it.
Yeah.
With like the other day when we were on Pack Hong, it was not really the situation for it. So I was throwing a black spro popping frog the whole day and I didn't catch anything on it.
You know what we did catch him on frog wise? Gavacho, baby.
2 gigantic 14 inchers.
Well, yeah.
I was going to say pickerel.
Listen, I caught something. That's all.
8-hour fishing day. It caught 2 14 inchers.
Listen, I caught 2 big fish. They just happened to be walleye.
There you go.
Hey, don't worry. We finally decided to quit and threw a Senko and caught 3 fish on it. So,
dude, we were on scope going down the bank, and I'm just see these giant marks like bolting, and I'm like, well, that looked interesting. Cast the jerkbait out there, like 3 twitches in, just gets smoked.
Nice.
And I'm like, well, that was sick. Get it there, and I'm like, peace out.
There's like, it's crazy. You don't like get into them often, but when you do, I feel like
they're all there.
Yeah.
Every walleye in the lake swims in one school. I swear in that.
We kept going because, like, obviously we were trying to catch a limit of bass, but on the live scope, we saw probably like 10 of them, like right in that little rock pile that we were on.
I do think they're on the up in that lake, though.
For
to be
sure.
honest.
Oh yeah.
I've been catching more recently than I ever have.
Yeah.
If you fish anything like even like mildly deep there, you'll catch one.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because scope has gotten me off the bank there more.
I think they're just more because I've caught them in like 4 foot of water there. Plenty of times.
That's
like
no, they'll be shallow. I just mean not like most of the time you're there, you're fishing right up on the bank.
Yeah.
Like if you tick off the bank a little bit, whether that's 15 feet or whether it's a 4 foot rock flat, either way, the second you come off the bank, you're gonna catch one.
Yeah. Yeah, they're there. I mean, I know like you met Jackson. He goes there like night fishing sometimes around like the bridges and stuff. Dude, he gets into them. Like he'll send me like constantly just photos at night, like just whacking the walleyes.
Well, it's a shame too. I feel like more people would walleye fish in Jersey if their limit made sense.
What's the limit? I don't even.
Isn't it like I'm gonna look it up right now to make sure, but we were talking about it. I'm pretty sure it's 18 inches.
It's like just big enough to where it's like I wouldn't even consider this an eater really anymore.
Yeah, like the best eating size walleye is like 14 to 18, I would say. And they're it's 18 inches.
That's like a big walleye.
It's pretty like Andre caught one, he caught two. One of them
I got one that was like a squeaker.
Yeah, one of them probably would have went 18, but one was like 15 inches, like perfect eater size. And it's like you got to throw that fish back, but then you catch like a nice, big, healthy 20-something incher, and it's like, oh, you can keep that one.
Yeah.
It's like one, that's the fish that probably should be going back.
That's the breeder.
And two, that fish doesn't taste as good.
Yeah.
But those fish are stocked in there, right? There's no native walleye to Hapakong, is there?
They get stocked. I don't know if they're like reproducing and
I think they have to be.
I don't think they I don't know about anymore, but I remember back in the day talking to somebody about it, and this was just some guy who walleye fishes, so I don't know if he knows what he's talking about or not. But he said they started kind of reproducing a bit in Greenwood, but they don't at all in Hapakong.
I have a hard time believing that because I don't think they've stocked them recently.
I'm pretty sure they still stock.
Do they consistently every year? They should stock bass.
I feel like I never see any posts of them stocking in that lake anymore.
Talk about a lake that would really do better if they started stocking some bass in it.
Dude, we should get some F1 stocked in there.
They would die.
Yeah.
According to the Google AI overview, Lake Hapakong has been stocked annually every year since 1991.
With walleye?
Yep.
I guess that makes sense of why there's so many.
Yeah.
Why it feels like there's so many. They're just finally growing to like mature ages.
Yeah, the ones that have been around long enough are actually big enough.
Let's see. Walleye stocking summary 2024.
I wish they never put hybrids in the damn place.
Oh, geez.
I feel like if there wasn't hybrids, the smallmouth would be.
All right. Well, this is why.
The bait pool goes to crap. What?
This is why it's on the up.
They start doing like a ton or something.
They stocked 55,000 walleye in Hapakong last year.
Jesus.
Sheesh.
I mean, they're small ones. They stocked like 3-inch fry, but like
it's a lot of bait going into.
If they've been doing that every year,
the problem. They just how many of those are actually getting to any form of mature size?
It just seems like such a waste to me. Like, why do you stock fish when they're that small?
Yeah, I agree. I thought you were going to say it's a waste.
Well, it's easier for them to raise than.
Yeah, I mean,
they could just keep throwing numbers, and it costs probably like half of what it would cost to raise a 2 pound.
Yes, but like if you let those fish get just like a cut, like if you let those fish get to like 5, 6, I don't know how long it takes, but if you let those fish get to like 5, 6 inches versus 3, like the chance of them surviving has to go up like 300-400%. Like,
yeah, the price isn't the time. Like, I mean, it's only going to take them a couple months to get that big, if that. But
especially in like.
It's the cost to raise them and feed them to get them to that size and then release them. That's what drives the price of the fish that's up so high.
I guess, but I don't know. I feel like if you like did a study and like crunched the numbers, that like the dollars per fish surviving would be worth it to stock less fish at a bigger size.
The problem is, though, regardless what size you put them in, they're all going to be eater size for. There's hybrids. There's fucking musky pickerel. There's everything in there. That's
but at 2-3 inches, they're gonna be eater size for fucking perch.
Yeah.
Think about
There's
the
a whole
perch
lot of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Think about that. Those things probably get massacred by perch.
And then on top of that, you're killing all the grass, so there's nowhere for them to hide.
Yeah, it's just 55. It's a school of 55,000 of them swimming around. Just getting
they can't
blasted.
swim deeper than 10 feet because the lake is fucking toxic.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I know anything about New Jersey, they probably stock them like a week before they spray it, and they just dump the chemicals right on top of them and just kill them just right away.
Yeah, the bottom is just silted in dead walleyes and dead anything else.
I mean, they're probably like, oh, this is where you put the walleye? Psst, yeah.
No, they're stocking it with the cutter, so they're just dumping the fish in the cutter.
Yeah, just
Also, dude, they are like, this has got to be the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen or heard. Like the New Jersey Fish and Wildlife loves to just stock shit that nobody cares about.
oh, what they stop.
Dude, they stocked like 500,000 or more. They stocked like almost a full. Yeah, they stocked like 700,000 walleye in the Delaware River. Who is walleye fishing the Delaware River? Do you know anybody who does that?
I guess up north, I've heard of people doing it, like in the actual like where it's like a river system.
I think it's just to get like total population in the state up, because I think they just see it as a moneymaker kind of fish. I would imagine tourist kind of shit.
Who is taking a vacation to New Jersey to fish?
No,
they need to spend more money and just flood more of Lake Apacong and make it a bigger lake. That's what they need to spend money on.
I would pay ungodly sums of money. Alex knows exactly what I'm going to say.
Yep.
To fish the Wanakee Reservoir.
Oh, yeah.
Ungodly amounts of money. Do you know how much money this state would make if they made like a fucking pass that was like $600 a year? I would pay it.
I was going to say I would pay it if they made it $2,000 a year.
Yeah, like
how big is it? It's like what?
It's bigger than a Apacong.
It's it's definitely like acreage bigger, I think.
Oh,
I don't know what water body it is.
I don't know, dude. Driving by it all the time, like it goes
so
for forever.
Problem is, it's low a lot. They pull a lot of water out of it.
Yeah, but it's long too, and has like little fingers and stuff. Like it's like.
Why does it say it's only 2,300 acres? That doesn't seem right.
It fluctuates so much, so it's like I don't know how they're taking the measurements.
Like Lake Apacong's 2,500.
Bro, just look at it on a map, and you'll be like, oh.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. I'll say.
I will tell you this, because they're all worried about like terrorism because it's like a water supply thing. If they
I can fish Monksville, I can fish there.
Exactly. I'm not even gonna say like on record, but because I don't want to be put on some list, but it'd be so easy.
Yeah, I could dump a pile of lead into fucking Monksville and it would go right over the dam.
All right, well, he said it on record, so
Yeah,
he said it for me.
Not only that,
I've donated enough
bridge.
lead into Monksville already at this point.
But like,
There's some
if you made like Andre said, like a $500 pass,
dude, even
and
if you only
made
did
me
like
go through like a CIA level background check to fish it, I would do it every single year.
Bro, 20 passes, first come, first serve, or like reserve basis, like do a lottery even. Like
yeah, random lottery every year. Someone new wins it. They get to bring 1 or 2 people per year on their boat or something.
The most untapped body of water in New Jersey that is probably so good. I mean, it is really good. There's stories floating and everything of people that used to get out there.
Allegedly.
Trust me, I'm not going to names, but obviously people that have cut the fence and gone in and fished, and I've seen fish that have come out of it.
Yeah, well, these
Like,
scumbags from the water company that run the patrol boat take people out there fishing and shit.
Yeah.
I
And it's
mean,
like, dude, I've heard stories of like 60, 70 largemouth and 30, 40 smallmouth in one day. Largemouth up to 7 pounds, smallmouth up to 6. Like,
Dude, there's a state record of every single species of fish in that lake.
there's gigantic pike in there too.
think about an actually clean, healthy hepacon. Like,
Yeah. We could talk about how the state record pike is actually from there
yeah.
if we really
Yeah.
want to talk about it.
It is. Yeah. It is.
Yeah. I don't know how many people actually understand that, because the amount of people that are like, "Oh my God, Pompton Lake had the state record." No, it didn't.
That was the closest place they could drive it to in a cooler.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, it's a
Yeah.
close driving distance that has pike.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely didn't come out of Pompton.
No, I fished Pompton enough. I can tell you, it didn't come out of Pompton.
I'll tell you what, if I wanted to put a fish in a cooler and drive it to another body of water, I could break the largemouth record tomorrow.
We're not talking about that.
The secret little
Stupid ass.
But it's like brutal like that. Actually, have any of you guys ever fished Upper Greenwood?
No.
Is it private?
It is.
You've been on it?
I have not, but
I've
I unfortunately had to decline because we're going to be in Maryland for the Ike tournament this weekend. But I got offered to fish a tournament there this weekend.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is it good?
And the guy said it's like pretty ridiculous.
Well, that's almost all the private lakes, dude. Mohawk is sick. Even Pine Cliff, the one that fucking Nick fishes that I've been to. We saw a like 24-pound bag get caught there one day.
Jesus.
And it's a puddle.
There's so many places like that where I wish like all the reservoirs up here, dude. If you could like sneak onto them.
Well, not only that, it's like some of them are, but the facilities are terrible. It's like the amount of time, like I would pay for the pass every year for the reses if like any of the ramps weren't terrible. Like there's not even a ramp on any of the lakes. It's just it's like a slope that you're just putting your boat in on.
We really need to just create one of those little John boats with the wheels on it.
It's basically what my boat is, and it still sucks to get my boat.
The front tire of your truck is like 10 feet in the water at Clinton before the boat starts floating off the trailer.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Well, it's just like Aeroflex, like in the wintertime where you can like go for the like landlocked salmon and trout and stuff like that. It's fun catching them because it's super easy, but like it's the same thing. I have to have like the entire truck underwater to get the boat off. And that was just with the tracker.
The fact that you have to go in and like jackknife your trailer to try to go off like this deep spot to the left side of the ramp is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
and then it's like they have like a handful of like beautiful facilities in the state, and they're all at like these hellscape reservoirs that you can only use your trolling motor on. Like
oh, dude, Manasquan. If you just put Manasquan's ramp on every lake that I ever wanted to fish, it would be beautiful.
Dude, even what's it called? The two big ones, Round Valley and Spruce. They're ramps when the water's in the wall. Like when the water's at it.
Yeah, I was gonna say at Spruce when the water is up there. And
yeah, well, I mean, Round Valley needs a 17 fucking mile long ramp because of the way the water goes in there.
Yeah.
Well, the Round Valley ramp is just gigantic.
Yeah, and it still gets lower than the ramp sometimes.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, well, now it's way, way, way up. But for years, you were past the ramp launching on the beach. But even then isn't bad because you had this whole giant hard bottom beach. You could launch 45 boats at one time.
Yeah.
Well, that's like, dude, I always say it when we fish Cherokee, like that ramp.
I knew that was coming.
Because it's just the best thing, dude. It's like a fucking 200-yard beach. And you just line up, dude, during practice days, guys were just backing their boats in and leaving their trucks like right in front of the water.
Yeah,
you just dump in and then pull straight out, and just everybody's truck is just there in a line.
That's beautiful.
It was amazing.
And I wish I never made Cherokee back in college. I wish I was able to make one of them.
Back then, it was actually good too. Now it stinks.
Yeah,
That's what
At least
I'm
I
hearing.
hear. I've heard it stinks.
Yeah. Well, me and Ryan would have done half decent if we didn't try to fish for largemouth for an entire day. It was a great move. This is why I don't fish tournaments anymore.
Well, I know you said
Yes,
you
it
didn't
was.
watch it, but Scott Canterbury pulled a U at 10 killer, Andre.
Oh, what? Just what? There's a lot of me's.
He stabbed.
He
the
had a
fish.
he was fighting a
Oh,
smallmouth off the left side of the boat, and it jumped on the
Oh, it
right
jumped on
side.
the other side?
It jumped on the other side of the boat into the boat.
Well, that's nice.
It
That's
jumped.
crazy.
No. But he's fighting it this way, and he didn't realize it happened, and he pulled it back into the water.
Oh, no.
Stop. I didn't see that. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it jumped into the other side of the boat, and then he pulled it back into the water. He caught it, but
That's crazy.
Bro, there's nothing more wild than it's like your line is out. So it's like there's just that much line out. And you're just sitting there and you hear it jumping. Just
On the
a
other
4-pounder behind you launch itself. And you're just like, that's cool.
That's
I looked at Ryan and I was like, you got one too? And he's like, no, dude.
still you.
that's yours.
Did you see the clip of Hank Cherry's fish from the weekend?
I don't think so.
Dude, he's fishing like a steep bank and he's throwing his jerk bait and he hooks one and it like jumps and it's like a 4-pound largemouth and he's fighting it to the boat. He's fighting it probably like 25 seconds and like at the boat he's going down and you see it come up and splash. It's still a largemouth. And then all of a sudden you just see like a flash and he's like at the boat trying to get it. And then the next thing you know, he's scooping up a smallmouth into the boat.
That's fucked up.
Like in the middle of the fight, like absolutely no transition. Like you don't even see the rod go slack in a new fish. Like it just switched from a largemouth to a smallmouth.
So
And it was
once he
smaller.
came off, Smalley was like, ha!
Yeah. Like he bumped it and at the same time ate the jerk
Yeah.
bait. It's crazy.
Well,
Just
dude,
aimed
there
at
was
the other one's
one.
mouth.
I think it was the second, maybe the third day, where Andrew Loberg, who was leading the tournament for the first 3 days and then wound up losing,
Yes.
was flipping bushes, and he right in the beginning of the morning sticks like a 4-something, and it comes off on a jump.
Oh yeah, I did see.
And then like 2 hours later, they flip to Chris Johnston, and he's like very clearly fishing the same exact bush,
Yo.
and he catches like a 4-pounder.
Yo. They
And
were
they're
all
like,
like,
"Oh my
"Aw."
god, he caught his fish!" And then like later in the day, Andrew Loberg went back to that bush. He's like, "Oh, I lost a good one here earlier." The announcers are like, he has no idea that Chris Johnston has already has that fish.
That fish is gone.
Yeah, that guy's gone, boy. Because I think he made a comment like, "Oh, we'll come back to it and catch it" or something like that too.
That's so
And
funny.
also, I haven't went and looked at the media or anything from this tournament. But if the anti-live scope crowd finds a way to be mad at this one, there's no hope, because the shallow water bush flipping guys kicked the crap out of the offshore guys when
Yeah.
a lot of the field thought it was going to be primarily even Christie, who's like a bush flipper, like bombed this tournament because he was fishing offshore a lot. And like Blake Capps, the local guy who beat my ass at Grand Lake, he was saying, "Oh, you're gonna have to catch fish in 40 feet of water this tournament. Like the water's been up and down, it's more stable." He didn't even make the cut,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
and he's a local there. And but in the first couple of days, like especially on the first day, like you had half of the guys like live scoping and fishing offshore. On the second day, a couple guys were doing it. By the time you got into the fourth day with a top 10, everybody was flipping shallow. Even Trey McKinney, who kind of got to day 4 by fishing offshore, was like, I have to go up shallow. Like you can't catch him out there anymore.
Yeah.
And you're talking about one of the guys that's the best at it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Changing and saying that. So that says something when it comes down to it.
Yeah, I mean, by the fourth day, you saw Trey McKinney way up the river, like sticking his boat on top of like piles of floating logs and like flipping all the way into the back. Like
How it should be done.
Yeah.
dude, Kyle Welcher on Sunday
All
was
the way-
like in like a actual like river. Like he had his trolling motor on 10 and he's like, I can't go forward. Like it was like rushing through. It was crazy.
I love that.
It
That
was
was
some
sick
like
watching.
awesome like old school fishing. Like that final day, dude, Welcher caught a 4-pound smallmouth throwing a swim bait into like 10
river.
mile an hour current. Wes Logan, who won, catches a 5-pound largemouth, flipping a bug way back into the middle of a bush. Brandon Card catches a 5-pound largemouth, throwing a freaking spook in between bushes.
Yeah.
Like you saw so many like sick old school, like just straight up fishing techniques catch big fish in so many different ways. It was awesome.
Finally.
What are you upset about? Yankees?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, sorry. I got Yankees on over here.
What happened?
No, Volpe made a ridiculous play to almost get Trout out, but he didn't get the throw.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
Rip Raffy Devers. Anyway.
Get him away. He's gone.
Well, yeah.
Not a baseball podcast.
It's like if there was a second topic to fishing, it's Yankees baseball. This is like the third time it's been brought up. We talked to Yankees baseball on the Lewis episode.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Me and Lewis were both wearing Yankees hats.
Love that.
But yeah, no, it was just like by the time you got to that fourth day on the top 10, like you wouldn't even know. You would think you were watching a tournament from 2010. Like it didn't even seem like Live Scope existed. Like nobody was even looking at it.
Was the fourth day
sick
much different than the other three?
Well, it was kind of like every day was different because they were pulling water like really fast because it was flooded, so the water was dropping. And then on days 2 and 3, it like rained a lot, so then it went back up. And then by day 4, it was like both because the water was really high, but they were also pulling it crazy fast. Yeah. So like the water came up, but they were also trying to drop it as fast as they can. So like even in the course of the 4 days, the water level was just going up and down.
Yeah.
Because I remember guys on day 2 were like, oh, we're not, or like day 1, we're like, we're not going to be able to keep flipping tomorrow because, you know, the water's going to be too low. Yeah. They're going to get pulled out. And then, like, again, they're back to flipping the bushes.
So it just kind of played out where the bush flippers kind of made out.
Yeah, I mean, on day 2, a lot of the guys who were flipping the bushes were like, oh, I've had to, like, cross off some stretches. Like, I'm only going to certain stretches that have, like, enough water on the bushes, and then like by day 4 it was like up a foot again.
Yeah.
I only said that because it was, if you were just scoreboard watching, it looked like a major choke job out of first. Because I think he averaged like 15 a day and then had 11 the fourth.
Yeah, but that guy was flipping bushes all day, all 4 days, and Wes Logan, who won, was flipping bushes all day, all.
So it was just a.
So he held on for 1 day longer.
Yeah, if you can't tell, I didn't watch a second of it.
Yeah. No. Although Wes Logan did mix in a little, like he was kind of doing like the Hartwell-ish thing where like he would start in the morning on like floating dock marinas, skipping like a chatterbait and a swim jig under them and catching some like spotted bass. But all the fish he caught doing that were small. Like I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure by the end of the day, every day he called at least 4, if not all of those fish out flipping bushes. But he would always start doing that because he would just catch a limit like super fast.
Yeah.
But it was like, dude, Kyle Welcher on the first day caught a fish on a bed in a smallmouth on a bed.
That's crazy.
That fish
I didn't see that.
Which was crazy enough. The water was in like the mid 70s.
That's wild.
But that's not even the point I'm making about it. The point I'm making about it is on the first day, he caught a smallmouth on a bed looking at it in the same spot where on the 4th day, there was like 5 mile an hour current and the water was chocolate milk. Like, that's how much the lake switched. He literally was sitting in the same spot where he caught a smallmouth on a bed in water that was clear enough that he could see it. And then 3 days later, there's 5 miles an hour of current and a mud line.
It's wild.
Those eggs are toast.
And he's still catching fish there.
Yeah, that's
Just
crazy.
in a completely different way.
They haven't seen the sun.
Well, he was saying on the first day he went in there, he caught a smallmouth on a bed, and then he caught a couple largemouth flipping around. He said the second day he went in there, caught a bunch of spotted bass. The third day he went in there, caught a bunch of spotted bass. The fourth day he went in there, caught a bunch of big smallmouth in the current.
It's like, are those
I'm
fish
broken.
moving in and out? Are they always there and you're just not catching them?
And then he said that on live, like what I just said. And Brandon Polinick goes, it's really weird to hear him say that because I practice in that spot and I caught all largemouth there. And he just talked about how he only caught spots and smallmouth.
So weird. Like, what causes that?
It's like at a pack on where I'm always like, the smallmouth don't do smallmouth things. They just the smallmouth and the largemouth just all do the same thing. There, it's just like all the bass are they all are living on the same plane because the water moves so much that they just move with it, and they just it's like they don't know what else to do.
Guys were catching smallmouth flipping bushes.
Yeah,
that's
it's
weird.
Like it's just like when the water fluctuates that much, it's like there's not much they can do other than move with it. Especially the bait. The bait's going to run away as wherever it can go.
Wherever you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like smallmouth, though, there's a lot of guys that like troll for walleyes out on a pack on that seem to get them out in the middle. I want to try it still.
Go for it.
Yeah, have fun, I guess, if you want. I'm okay.
I've spent far too much time wandering out there and not seeing a fucking soul.
Yeah.
And then you get a mark and you're like, oh, wow. And you finally get a bite and you're like, holy crap. And it's a fucking hybrid.
Yeah.
Or 13-inch crappie.
Yeah. Dude, crappie we need to figure out a way to make crappie not look massive on live scope.
They're just so wide.
They just look so, and they
on the screen.
And you cast to them and they immediately like go to it all the time. So you get all excited.
Dude, also, speaking of that, me and Ryan were on Spruce Run the other day, and we were following around a school of like 200 hybrids and just could not catch one.
Dude, you need like live bait for them around here.
Dude, the last time I went there and I ran into a school of 200 hybrids, I caught them every fucking cast.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. Caught the shit out of them.
And they were just swimming.
And they weren't, and what's weird is it happened the exact like opposite way you would think. Like the day I did it, there was like a million of them, and they were all just kind of like sitting on the bottom, not doing anything.
Yeah.
And I'd throw my bait down, and you just catch one every cast. Whereas when I was there with Ryan, they were on the surface moving like 1,000,000 miles an hour, which is like you'd think it'd be easier to catch them there, and nope.
Huh.
And like every time you'd throw it in and like 3 or 4 of them would come up like blitzing it. And it's like, dude, if these were like smallmouth or largemouth, like it doesn't matter what you're throwing at them. If there's 200 of them,
one of them
just like the competition factor is going to force them to bite. I guess that doesn't work with hybrids because they'd all like look at it and be like, nah.
Maybe it was just a school of smallies. You never know.
It wasn't.
I think that my chances of catching them actually increases if it was a smallies.
What's the obsession with putting hybrids in every damn big lake around here or just deep water? Any body that'll hold them, they just decide they're like, yep, let's just put 1,000,000 of them in.
It's crazy because there's so many guys that go out and target them, but I'm like,
are there though?
I feel like on Spruce and not even Round Valley. Round Valley is more.
Round Valley doesn't have them.
Yeah, that's right. Spruce, though, people
target. Guys on a pack hong that I see in their center consoles with like fucking spreader bars out, and I'm like, what are we doing?
Well, on Spruce, everybody who fishes Spruce is hybrid fishing, but there's only like 6 boats ever fishing Spruce.
I was gonna say there's not that many out there.
No,
I like seeing
the thing is like, dude, like 80% of the state is fishing for largemouth and smallmouth bass, and we want to stock hybrids, walleyes, and muskies.
Yeah. And muskies. The muskies are.
But the muskies, there's only so many of them. Like, I know
Yeah, and there's only so many guys who fish for them.
There's like 5.
No, but I'm saying
There's
they
like
shouldn't
10
keep
guys in
putting
the whole
more
state
in.
who fish for them. I see them every day. I know what their faces look like.
It's just like I feel like hybrids are going to do much more harm to anything like bait wise than a muskie will.
No,
Muskie
I'm not even getting into that conversation of like doing harm or anything. I'm just getting into the conversation of
why
you're
are we spending
all
resources?
this money, all this taxpayer money on hybrids that 25 people fish for, and muskies that 10 people fish for, and walleye that one guy fishes for. No, not you.
Walleye guide service. The like.
There's one guy.
No,
the man
There's
himself.
one guy.
Nah, we're not.
But that's only between the months of October and December.
Yeah. God damn, man.
But you have how many hundreds of guys?
Yeah,
Thousands
why are we putting
of guys in
80% of the
bass
money
fish.
into fish? Where
And our entire non-trout, like I understand the trout program. A lot of guys trout fish.
But I would love to see a monetized like list.
So
Like,
would I.
What the assets, like the resources, are broken down into for fishing game for stocking.
maybe one year we spend a little less money on walleye and we build a ramp on Greenwood.
No, that's not there. They will build a ramp in tomorrow if they were allowed to. I think they've already come to the conclusion of that. It's the matter of getting land to build said ramp.
I thought they had it on the south end there.
They've
been talking about it forever.
They were gonna fucking have to rip out a bunch of other shit that people were complaining about. I think it was gonna ruin like a disc golf fucking course. Or something.
That stupid thing. I don't care about them.
I don't know. Exactly. That's how I feel too. But good luck saying that. I'm sure they.
All right. Well, how about we stop stocking anything in Greenwood Lake because you can't get on it?
Yeah, it's just like not a public body of water, basically, at this point. It's public if you want to spend $60 to put your boat on it in the weekday.
Even though Pakong's not far off anymore.
I mean, honestly,
the state park is easy.
Yeah, but honestly, like by definition, if you have to pay for a pass, it's not public.
Yeah,
like Lake of Pakong isn't public.
But they could say like
the state
park is public. You're paying. It's kind of like you're paying $5 for them to fucking run the park.
Yeah, but
to keep it nice. Listen, or else it's going to be a dumb. You know, the people that use that ramp, it would be a fucking shit show.
Oh, absolutely.
If there wasn't two people to run the ramp.
But still, you're paying for access. Isn't that by definition private?
And the state park is only open from 8 to 5 or whatnot. Like you can't actually access.
Well, I don't know a good way to justify saying like public versus private. Private means you physically cannot fish it at all unless you like lived on the place. Like
there's like a lot of
because
there's like a lot of private lakes that you can pay $300 for a yearly pass to. Like what is the monetary amount where it transitions from private to public?
I think it's wherever you can.
Public just means it's owned by the government and not by a person.
That's like saying a public golf course versus a private golf course. You still have to pay for all of them.
Yeah, but like that's a joke. I don't know. It's just semantics, but like I don't know. I don't think you should be able to label anything public if you have to pay to use it.
That's just the state of how New Jersey is, though, man. We're so densely populated. There's no such thing as not.
Like the other state that I've
things like that.
The other
if you're going to compare it to Florida, you can't.
Well, Florida actually has a rule that every single public body of water has to have a free state-run boat ramp on it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like,
dude, in Florida,
but they had like budget to do shit like that.
Dude, in Florida, they had like paved double wide ramps on the fucking canals.
Their budget for shit like that in the state is probably 10 times, if not more, than what New Jersey has to put to things like that.
Yeah, and they don't even pay taxes.
That 70% of their tourism comes from like the water and fishing and things related.
That's the thing. They're getting a lot more revenue in licenses. Like, I mean, I went down there and I fished for 3 days, and I bought a license. You know, like everyone that's coming down there and visiting is buying a license. Like, there's no
Like,
one
it's
coming
also
to
just the
Jersey.
thought
Like you said,
process
who's
of things.
vacationing
Like,
in New Jersey to go fishing?
Yeah, no one.
Zero. Why should tourism care?
And if they are, they're definitely not buying a license because they're
yeah,
in
but
Jersey.
it's just a fundamental viewpoint of like, if you look at like Florida tourism, they're like, oh, this brings a lot of people down here, let's make it free. You look at New Jersey tourism and it's like, oh, everybody comes down here to go to the beaches, gotta buy a beach pass now, let's squeeze more fucking money out of them. Like,
It's exactly what it is. And then the beaches are still a disaster.
I was gonna say, I think they still get their money.
it's just like it's just unbelievable levels of incompetence all over the place.
Welcome to New Jersey.
It's just crazy how a state like Florida can have zero income tax, so like way less money, and run things so much better. And that's like across the board. Like, I'm not even talking about like fishing.
What's interesting?
Everything is done better there. Everything.
What other states have no income tax? I'm pretty sure Tennessee doesn't have state income tax. Their parks program's fantastic.
Incredible.
Pretty sure Texas doesn't. Their parks program's fucking
But
amazing.
aren't they all just funded by?
It's because they bring in so many people to fish at those places.
It's because they're
all those things. Dude, those three
their
states have
tax
the
money.
most bucket list lakes in the country. Do you know how many people vacation and like go there just to do those things?
Tennessee.
Yeah, but
I mean, how they have resorts on Lake Okeechobee, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Here's the real
There's
difference.
no backcountry.
Yeah.
Here's the real difference. The real difference is that in those states, the tax money goes to bettering public services, whereas in New Jersey, the tax money goes to mansions in Rumson for bureaucrats.
It's accurate. I can't even.
So that Phil Murphy can hide migrants in his garage.
Stop this. All right.
That's where our tax money goes.
We're not doing this.
Anyways, let's reel it in here.
It's like, you can't bring me on here. It's just immediately cancelable the second I'm on here.
I mean, you guys could go to that No Kings protest and just not pay attention to the fact that it's funded by Walmart. It's funded by Walmart. That's all I'm going to say. We're done. We're done on the topic. That's all I'm going to say.
Anyways, back to
fish. Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about here. Fish.
Let's do a little bay preview.
Oh God, I hate the bay.
Andre, you should come down for our bay for Saturday.
I actually have off this Saturday, but it's because I have a golf outing.
Oh.
Why do that when you could come parade around the Goose with me, Ryan, in our new boat?
Oh boy, it sounds so fun.
Orange brushes for everybody.
Because I'm sure you're gonna win your 16-foot bass cat or whatever the hell they're giving out now.
17, all right, 17.
Not gonna lie though, what was that old little tiny? Do you ever see those little tiny like Japanese glass boats? They have them in Japan. They
look like John boats, but glass.
No, they're like full-on looking bass boats, but they're like 12 feet long.
Really?
They're so cool. I want one.
Honestly, so like it depends on like where you're at and the circumstances, but that little tiny bass cat is like kind of sick. Like if you're fishing like little river systems, like speed.
Oh yeah,
it's a little beast.
I said it as a joke, but
17-footer.
I would get one in a heartbeat if it was the right price.
Andre, you know who has that boat?
Isn't it that guy from Florida?
Norm.
There it is.
Norm.
I'm trying to find a picture of one of these boats.
It is a perfect boat for like that. Those places.
The canals and stuff.
Pictures in this chat.
You can like share your screen.
Oh wait, yeah, I can do that. How do we do it? Present. I'm presenting. Share
It hasn't
screen.
come up for me yet, but
Don't show these tips again. Share screen. I have like 17 screens though, so
Just gotta figure out which one you're sharing.
it's not gonna let me. I have to open up my system settings to allow shit. Whatever. Cancel. Get out of here. Anyway, you can look it up. Alex in post input picture of said bass boat. I'll text it to you guys.
Right there.
Yeah.
you guys are going to be watching this portion and be like, oh, when it's coming, and it's just going to not.
Honestly, people probably know what I'm talking about. Dude, you
I
ever see it? They like launch them off of the cliff. Like, it's got like these giant like sliders. I saw like a fucking TikTok or something of it once.
That's what we need to start doing, just building those kind of launches on some of these lakes.
Yeah.
We don't even need, just picks it off the trailer like they do, or lifts the trailer up, drops it in, the boat floats right off, you're good to go.
Well, yeah, like you seen those launches in Japan that like go like down the side of a cliff, like
That's
sideways.
Literally what we were just saying. Thanks for paying attention, bud.
Yes,
Your head's in the game here.
I was writing down the timestamp so that I could edit a picture into it.
I was on my phone and I couldn't hear anything you were saying.
Correct. I have auditory processing disorder, okay? I'm sorry.
I have autism.
Yeah. A strong dashing of it.
I'm so slow with my phone to send these to you.
So, random, and I don't want to get into it too much because there's still a good chance it doesn't happen, but I might be spinning this national championship trip into me also going to St. Clair and Mille Lacs. So,
are you just gonna ditch me on the way back?
Oh well,
no, I'm
gonna
my
wedding for it, so it's okay.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to drive all the way out there.
I sent you pictures. Dude, they're so cool.
Oh wait, it actually has like a console. I was thinking like a tiller.
No, it's like a bass boat.
That's pretty sick.
I kind of love it.
Japanese small bass boat.
Like, bro, that would be perfect if they sold those and we could just like leave it in a slip on Lake X.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're called Souther. That is the name of the boat.
How much do they cost?
I don't know. Let's look it up.
Can I ship one on my next Temu order?
Dude, it's like those little.
You have to assemble it with an Allen key.
Imagine towing the bass boat with a K truck.
That'd be sick.
Zuzu
box trucks.
Yeah, the Zuzus.
Can you imagine pulling up to the ramp on an open with one of those?
Dude, one of my lifeguards has that truck. He drives to work every day in it.
That's sick. Can they even do 60? Like, what do they max out at?
No,
Or
he's like, I
35?
can't. He's like, the only reason I could drive here is because it's like 10 minutes away. He's like, I can't take this thing on the highway. I think he said it goes like 45.
He's just right lane, 45, towing a little tiny. That'd be sick.
I don't think I can find like.
Andre's trying to convert Japanese into American currency right now is what's happening.
No, I can't even find. Okay, I found.
He's really buying Bitcoin to transfer.
I want to see how long it actually. Oh my god, it is in full Japanese. I thought it was going to be like at least it says concept in English and then Japanese. If you went through the process to put that in English, why is there not like an auto translate?
Doesn't like your browser usually have like a translate option?
Oh, Google Translate. It does. Look at that. Translate everything.
This is great podcasting.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could screen share, but I have privacy settings apparently that I don't feel like
I'm so private.
A towing license is not required. In addition, when creating this boat, this is bad translation.
Towing licenses?
This is bad translation. I'm gonna have to like screenshot these things and send them to you.
Bro, all Japanese translations are ridiculous because the language is just like completely structured differently.
Yeah.
Like
when you look at Taku's posts,
I was just gonna say that. Like Taku or Koya's post, it's like 4-day fishing, match hard.
Yeah.
It has a max motor capacity of a 60. What's
Pretty good.
You want to know what the boat length is?
What?
13.7.
4,500 millimeters. Let's figure that one out.
4,500.
I mean, really? They couldn't even do meters?
Nope.
Why do the Japanese specifically only measure in millimeters?
I don't know.
That's 14.7 feet.
That's so sick.
That's how long the Skanu is.
It has 2 gas tanks.
2?
Yeah.
With 3 gallons each.
Yeah.
No electric.
No electric? What?
That's all. It just says no electric. That's all it says.
Maybe no trolling motor.
Well, I guess.
How much can you order this for though? How many
You
yen?
need the battery to start the motor.
How many yen?
Bro, I can't.
It's not yen.
Isn't it yen?
Isn't yen Chinese?
Dude, I don't know. I'm gonna sound bad either, no matter what I say.
I thought I was being smart and correcting you, and I might be wrong.
Yeah, Japanese yen.
View spec comparison chart. Is there money on this? There's no money anywhere on there.
We have to start talking about something else.
No, I need to find because it's just me staring at my computer screen now.
Also, by the way, this has been, I don't know if you guys have felt this way. This is the quickest hour of podcasting ever.
Yeah,
We're at
because it's been
56
20 minutes of me scrolling Japanese boats.
We're at 56 minutes and we've talked about absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
We talked about
Dealers.
frogs for
Is
like
there any
6 minutes,
dealers?
and I could not tell you what we've talked about between then and now.
I haven't even fished in the last 2 weeks to even give anything recent. That's the problem.
How do Japanese addresses work? There's like 7 different things here.
You trying to
There's like
place an
4
order?
different towns and then a city.
Well, I think in Japan they write out their address like with the provinces and the counties like in the address.
Yeah, I clicked dealers like thinking there was going to be one not in Japan.
Oh yeah, that's right. The dealer in Kentucky.
You never know, man.
We just might be getting into it. You never
Here's
know.
an idea. How much does a
It's gonna pop up
Souther bass boat cost?
Dude, they're so cool. Well,
Okay,
there's-
well that's a wide range.
Well, there's one that's literally like it looks like a paddle boat that you got at like a little park pond, like the little
According
swan
to-
boats.
Bass Boat Central, one person commented $26,000. I don't know if that's yen. It can't be yen.
No, because that would be like
Yeah, no, I see the same thing.
that would
You've
be
seen
like
this
a couple $100, I think, in the US.
post? Yeah.
There's a 425, except those are tillers. The
Oof.
one with like a console and a steering wheel and everything is the big one.
Oh, I'm watching a video of this guy absolutely ripping one around. This
Dude, they're
seems...
so sick. You can just like turn them as hard as you want too. They just
Bro,
eat.
this thing has a 60 on it, and it's got to be going at least 50 miles an hour.
It's so cool.
Bro, this thing is hauling.
Bro, I'd put a fucking jet drive on one and just let it eat.
Wow. That
Why
actually
would-
would be sick. Put a jet drive on it and just rip up the Delaware in it.
It's still fiberglass though. You're gonna rip holes in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can color. I
It
can.
says the 14-foot, 11-inch model is $26,000.
Nice. Dude, they make like little. Dude, I found a post of like a guy that went to Japan and is posting
Yeah,
pictures
they're
of
like
all the little.
tiny,
Dude,
tiny.
like a 14-foot champion bass boat with like with a 90 on it. That looks sick.
Dude,
A
I'm telling you,
90 on a 14-foot boat.
I mean, it's a tiny looking champion.
this is the answer to the elites.
Dude, a
You can have all
15-foot
the electronics
Ranger.
you want, but we're putting them in these things.
Dude, they have a Ranger 155 VS with a 60. That's like a 15-foot Ranger bass boat. That's-
You're right, Andre. This is exactly how you solve the Elite Series. 3 tournaments with live scope, 3 tournaments without live scope, 3 tournaments on obscure river systems with these boats.
Yes. And they can put whatever they want on that boat, but they have to use that boat.
And John Cox wins all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. A tournament in a 14-foot souther on the west branch of the Illinois River.
That would be sick.
Oh man, dude, I would sell my boat right now if there was a dealer in Jersey.
Now that's a tournament trail idea right there. We get the pros in. You get some sponsors. We order a couple of those souther boats. And
dude, could you imagine
just
that
like
boat with like a torpedo on the back? I'd be ripping up all the fucking electric only lakes.
Literally, just like the OG MLF where they all stuck them on 18-footers, but we just stick them on the souther
and bring back shotgun starts.
Yeah.
Put them on Lake Mead.
Put them in a souther and stick them on the Rappahannock.
Chuck them up to Google.
Wait, what's that crap hole river that Jared fishes?
Oh, the Nanticoke.
Put them on the Nanticoke.
The Nanticoke, the Chester, all of those little ones off the bay.
Put them in the souther on the Nanticoke.
The chop tank.
Oh man, this Yankee game is still on.
No, honestly, you don't even put him out there, dude. Pasqua tank. Put him out there. Here, let him eat.
Bad idea. Put him on the St. John's, but like the upper St. John's. Like where it's like all the way up at like almost to headwaters. In those like gator pits.
Yeah. Just ripping through the little channels.
The gators are bigger than the boat.
Yeah, dude, once you get like way south of Lake George, they have like these like they're like pretty big, like wide lakes in like the St. John system, but they're like 3 feet deep the whole way. And it's just like swamp pits. And apparently they're pretty good fishing, but like you can't like
yeah, you need like a fan boat to get into them.
Yeah. I mean, you can get in and out of them with a bass boat, but like you probably shouldn't run them. Like,
talking stupid boats, I'm gonna buy a fan boat too. Just imagine me ripping a fan boat around in New Jersey. They'd be like, "What the hell is this guy doing?"
They just think you're spraying the lakes in the fan boat.
Yeah,
that'd be sick.
Where were they at the other day when Kyle Patrick had to get pulled out by a fan boat?
Oh, that was Sabine, right?
Sabine, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Was that the boat that was literally just in the mud? Unlike
he was just on land.
Yeah,
he was just in the reeds.
He was just fully on
see
land.
that.
He must have been doing 60 and just was like, "I'm gonna go straight instead."
Well, that was like, I forgot who posted the video. I don't know if it was an elite or if it was some random thing I saw, but they were literally running through like a creek that was like as big as their like prop. And the boat was just like staying on plane through the whole thing.
Jesus.
Well, did you see John Cox's tip?
Oh God,
No.
I hate this.
Have you seen John Cox's tip?
Oh, jeez.
I'm just saying.
It's to take off in shallow water, you sicko.
Yeah, he
Oh,
puts
was it?
Stop. See, because this sentence, there's no other way to say it, but you're gonna laugh at it. He puts his power poles down.
Okay.
And then he puts the boat in gear.
What just gets it going and then just
starts revving the engine, and he digs a hole.
You just like prop
with the engine.
That's absurd.
Then he picks the poles up, reverses it into the hole, and then hops up on plane in the hole that he just dug.
Something tells me that just like can't work.
It works.
It works. I forget who it was, but I saw somebody making a video, and they were like, "All right, we're trying out the John Cox tip," and he's like, "Holy cow, it works!"
Yeah, that's Alex doing donuts trying to get the boat on plane.
It's Susquehanna slide, baby.
Yeah. We're
gonna see Alex trying to dig holes in the flat.
Trying to blow out sand.
My co-angler at the Nation was like, "Why do you always turn like that when you start?" And I was like, "Well, I'm turning my lower unit sideways because we're in 18 inches of water."
And when you're pulling your boat like this, it's like a foot higher than where it was.
Yeah, hey, buddy, like when I turn like this and my boat is sideways and you're like inches from the water, yeah, you're like a foot off the bottom.
It's funny on the bay how we're just like idling in practice everywhere, and then tournament day it's just like absolutely no. Ding! Yeah, right through.
You guys are a bunch of idiots.
Dude, it's crazy. When I'm at high tide, I have no problem. Like, on the bay between the two islands, like tournament morning on the second day, you guys were there, and I'm coming through, and I like come off pad, and immediately the prop and like hitting sand, bottoming out, and I'm like, I ran through that the other morning without a problem on pad, just ripping right through. Just
on my way out to go back to weigh in, I took a line that I've just like never taken before. It just went like straight across everything.
Yeah.
Have you guys thought about how blown out it's going to be this weekend?
I don't think it's going to be that bad.
It's just like sprinkling rain. It's not.
It hasn't stopped raining for like 4 days.
It was worse before we went down the last time.
Fair.
Yeah. And it's like not rain. It's like it's just like a heavy mist. I don't know.
I mean, it was for a bit over the weekend, but I don't know.
It just didn't rain that hard by us. It rained pretty hard, like south of us.
It rained pretty hard on me.
Yeah.
On Saturday, at least.
I was just down by you.
But I mean, like that place, like the amount of like with the tides that come up and come, I mean, it cleans out in like 3 tides.
Yeah, I guess the grass is so good too. It probably keeps it pretty nice on the flat at least.
Yeah, but it just like completely pulls all of that water out and puts completely new water back up. That like after like 3 cycles of the tide coming in and out, like if it's been stable for 3 cycles, you're fine.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, plus like Thursday it's gonna start clearing up. Friday, like the next 2 days, it shows like a chance of rain, but it's not like it's gonna be rain all day again.
The wind is the killer.
Yeah.
Well, Thursday or Friday it's supposed to be like 10 to 15.
From where? Doesn't matter. Like if you get like an east or west out there, it's got to be not as bad. Right?
West isn't bad.
Yeah.
It's 10 to 15 on Thursday with like some scattered thunderstorms, but that's like not going to do anything. But Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is all 5 to 10 west. So
yeah,
that'll be bliss.
That'll be beautiful.
I've been to the flats 3 times, and I've never actually gotten to fish the flat because they've just never been there. It's been awful every time I've ever been there, where I'm just dragging my balls around the Northeast trying to catch fish.
Also, when's the last time you were there? 2015?
Probably. I'd never go back. I'm like, I ain't driving 2.5, 3 hours so you can not catch dick. But now you guys have been catching the crap out of them recently.
Time to bring the boat down.
I ain't driving. I'll hop on his shit.
Just get Ellie as your partner and
wait, weren't you supposed to go today?
I'm going tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Dyke Derb's Saturday.
Yeah. I'm going to the Yankee game tomorrow night.
The conditions just like were kind of shit today, and I was like, I'll just go tomorrow.
Wasn't that bad today though. Yesterday was worse.
Yeah, but like tomorrow's gonna be perfect. So
is it? I thought there was still rain around tomorrow.
Cloudy.
I mean, it's gonna be like cloudy and stuff, but it's gonna be like wind under 5 all day, like under a 20% chance of rain the whole day.
Yeah,
like it might sprinkle on me a little bit, but nothing bad.
Nice.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna get up at like 5 in the morning, so I'm ready to just call this. If you guys,
that's gross.
All the listeners, all the viewers, all 10 of you need to be staying tuned because we're gonna be coming to you live this weekend.
Oh, I'll do this. I'll do this for Zub.
Oh yeah.
Whoever your top person in fantasy fishing is, DM us the code word.
Zub stinks.
Zub stinks. DM us Zub stinks, and Zub will send you a bunch of bush flipping baits.
Some Christie critters, maybe.
Whatever it was that Wes Logan was throwing. I think he was just throwing like a rage bug or some kind of beaver or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll figure out what it is, and you'll get a bunch of them on Jason Zubris' dime.
It's just a write-off for him. Don't worry about it.
So DM us Zoob stinks for some flipping baits. Does anybody have anything else pressing?
No.
I just need to fish again and get some content.
Oh, the next time we come to you guys will be the first actually in-person podcast, I believe.
Yeah.
We'll probably be slightly too inebriated for a podcast, but we're gonna do it anyway, and we'll be live post Ike Derb. So
We'll be viewing, and we'll be podcasting on my new basket.
yeah, if by yours you mean Alex and Ryan's. But anyway, we will see you then in what is sure to be a definitely not chaotic and totally normal episode.
Thanks for watching.